What's up guys, this is Ronnie. Welcome back to the brand new series of AWS automation using Python Boto3. So you can call it as Boto3 or Python Boto3. So the programming language will be used Python, and the module or the package will be going to use is called Boto3. So in this first tutorial, I'll be going to talk about how to create S3 bucket using Python or by Boto3. So before I start guys, so this is the first tutorial, and from the very first tutorial actually I'll be going to showcase the different use cases. So rather than just creating a separate tutorial to set up the prerequisite and all, I just thought about that we should create one single tutorial to to showcase how to create a S3 bucket, and inside the tutorial I'll be going to cover all the different prerequisites. So this is also kind of help you guys to understand what are the things actually necessary to set up your environment from AWS point of view or Python point of view. So first thing first, what are the packages required is pip install Boto3 and pip install AWS CLI. So definitely pip is not going to be work if someone is already working on Python version 3. So definitely you have to use pip 3, okay, but the ultimate thing is pip, right? So first thing I'll be going to do that. So I'm using Mac, so I'll open my terminal, and after that I just hit pip 3 install AWS CLI. I believe I already installed, so for me it will display one message that prerequisite already satisfied. So let's see. So if you say it is saying that requirement already satisfied. So next thing I will try to install Boto3. Install Boto3, and if you see over here, see again it is saying satisfied. So our first prerequisite is done. So next thing is that for doing anything in AWS console. So before I start, so guys, just going forward, I'll assume that all of you are having some sort of basic understanding of AWS different services, how the identity and access management works inside AWS and all other aspects. So I'll be not going to talk about all this thing before every tutorial, or rather than I'm not going to create any separate tutorial for this thing, but whenever required, then and there I'll cover all the prerequisite, all the use case, and if time permits we'll also discuss upon a few concepts, okay, before writing the code. So here actually we need to set up something from the identity and access management point of view, like access management point of view. So first thing we have to create a IAM user. So what is IAM user? So actually you have to create some sort of user. Based on that user ID and password, you should do something. This is basic thing in computer, right, or any programming sense. Like to access something, you definitely need some sort of API or something, like something which based on which or against which you can authenticate yourself. So here we'll be going to use on user. On that user will give certain access. So based on that access we'll be going to access our AWS service remotely by calling the AWS APIs or a different thing. So for that purpose, so what you have to do, first thing you have to navigate to this thing, okay, aws.amazon.com. I don't have to reiterate this thing because all of you know. Then you have to click on this thing, sign into console. So it will give you to this thing, and after that you have to create here like IAM, means from the services you have to click on IAM, just because I've already browsed this thing, so that is what is showing that. Then you have to click on user, okay. For me one user is already created. If you see, it is long back, more than maybe more than 2 years, not more than 2 years, almost 2 years, maybe 1.5 years. So now what I'll do, I just have to create one user. So that is why I just click on this add user button, and there I will create. So probably I can create something. This is for tutorial or maybe Boto3. So what I'll do, I'll just like this, okay, and I want programmatic access, like I'll be going to use this thing from some sort of programming API. So I will get access ID and password, secret key, not the user ID and password. Then I'll click on the next permission, okay. So I'll be click on policy. So there are multiple policies, so I need administrative access so that I can do anything from my Python thing, okay. So the next step, and here actually it will give me some sort of review thing that this is fine, everything is fine. Then I'll click on create user, okay. So see, I got this thing. So what I'll do, I'll just create this this thing is done. So probably I can write this thing over here, navigate to AWS console, create new IAM user, select programmatic access, and then select administrative policy. Okay, and done. Okay, this is done. So guys, sorry for my spelling, I don't care about that. So next thing is configure AWS CLI. So what is that? So this is going to be very interesting thing. So then you have to open your terminal. So maybe I can create and open a new terminal, just doing this thing, just because already have install AWS CLI. So just if you click on AWS, then configure, just remember this thing, you have to click on AWS. Once you install this thing, that will work. Okay, see, it will ask me the access key, ID key. So what I'll do, I'll just copy paste this thing. Okay, so I'll fine, then I'll hit enter. So maybe I think the enter is not working. So now it is asking please secret key. So secret key I should not show you guys, but again I'll be going to delete this thing immediately after this tutorial, so I can do it because I'm just doing the live tutorial, so it is fine. So next thing, this, what happened, the enter is not working. So next it is asking for central region. So default region is central region. Maybe I can just hit enter, but I'm not sure. Yes, so default is JSON. I can select this thing. So it is saying everything is done. So now my configuration part is done from the CLI. So what I'll do, I will just write open terminal AWS, again it is AWS configure, then enter access AWS access key, enter I think secret key, I believe access ID or secret key, something like that, and then region output. That's it, done. So I'm just writing this thing just because in the future you guys can easily refer to this when you guys are preparing for some interview or something like that. But don't worry about that, guys. Don't try to remember anything without understanding this thing, because these things are available in the Google. If you go and Google in the search, but if you write configure AWS CLI for Python, you will definitely get this thing. Or if you don't have to write Python, configure AWS CLI from terminal, so they will give it to. So there is nothing new. So there is no point of remembering all those things. It is not adding any values. Okay, next thing is that final thing, create S3 bucket using Boto3. So what is S3? So let me now do something. So as I told you, I'm not going to cover the theoretical part. I believe all of you guys know. So we can do this thing, AWS S3. So this is actually good practice. The way I learn actually all these things, I'm just showing the same thing. So if you search on this thing, it will give you AWS S3 has a simple web services interface, and this is kind of simple storage service, and it will help you to store some sort of like file, photos, documents, video, whatever you want to store. This is one of the very popular service and widely used by most of the organization. So that is why just targeting this thing for our first few tutorials. In this tutorial I'll be going to show you guys how to create S3. Next tutorial I'll show how many buckets are there, and next tutorial I will show you guys how to delete. So in this way actually I'll be going to start the or set the expectation of the tempo for this course, and rather than by doing some dry theory, and once we complete the basic fundamental parts, then we'll go ahead and start working on the intermediate or advanced topics. So first thing, S3. So how to check whether you have any S3 on dot? So for that thing, let me just close this thing. Okay, so this is done. So now again I have to click on S3 services, then I have to click on S3. Okay, if you see here, I have no bucket. I can create bucket manually, but being a modern engineer or modern administrator, it is always permissible or recommended to use some sort of automation. So that is why Python and Boto. So now I'll show you guys how to use Python and Boto to create a new bucket over here so that you can save something. Okay. So next thing is I'll write the code here, and once I write the code, I'll put this thing here. So I have already created, oh, this is not my terminal, this is something else. Let me close this thing. Where is my Visual Studio? Yes, this is, I have created a tutorial. Yes, fine. So I'll start writing the code over here. So before I start writing the code, so I have to import few things. So first thing, import Boto3, right? And after that, what we'll do, we'll see what are the things are available in Boto. So first few tutorials you guys will find some difficulties, but after that it will be easy. So first thing, let me just create one variable. Let's call it as AWS resource. Okay, and it will be like Boto3 dot resource, and inside that we'll put S3. It means it is actually object of S3. Okay, bucket, S3 bucket object. Okay, and after that what we'll do, we'll just give one name to this bucket. So how to give this name? So we'll give let's say bucket equals to AWS. So this is actually resource object of type S3 bucket, and now I'm just giving one name. Okay, so AWS resource, then dot, then bucket, and I can create some name. Let me just give our channel name. Let's say total technology, and let's underscore. I'm not sure whether underscore is allowed or not, but just total technology. Just give it like this, total technology. Okay, and it is done. So this thing is done. Now we can create the bucket, but again, for creating the bucket, we need to write some piece of code. But what you guys can do, don't try to remember anything. As I told you, I'll show you guys the easiest technique, the way actually I learned, so that it will be easier for all of you guys to understand. So what I'll do, just go to the Google. Okay, so AWS Boto S3, just search with that. Okay, and we'll get to this link actually. Okay, the first link, and click here, bucket, very simple thing. Okay, and there are multiple things you can achieve. So just click on create and see, it will give you the ready-made code, and just blindly copy paste this thing. Why I'm saying blindly, this is not the right word to say, but again, just I'm actually showing you guys so you can copy blindly, and after that I'm just explain what is required and what is not. Okay, fine. So there are too many things are there, but as I told you, I'm not going to cover this theoretical part right now. Maybe later on you can do it. So just three things are required actually. This ACL means the access control or the type of bucket. So I need this bucket to be publicly read access. So I just remove this thing, this part, and from here until this part. Okay, next thing, the bucket location. So in my case it is U central, I believe, so it will be U central 1. So I just remove everything from here. Okay, next thing is that the name is already given, see, total technology. So if you do not put this thing over here, or I just miss this line, this will not work, rather than throw an error. Okay, so I have to create here some. Okay, see, this is simple. You don't have to remember anything. So if you are following the documentation initially, and if you just follow along with your ID and your documentation and just practice, or maybe you can watch out my videos along with the documentation, maybe it will take 2 or 3 days to memorize everything, and after that it will be bread and butter. But don't try to remember anything, just try to understand and logically try to do something. Means remembering is not the option in today's era, because if you remember this thing, maybe in the Python 4 or 5 version will come down the line in 2-3 years later, and definitely you have to again do this sort of thing. So just try to analyze and learn everything logically. This will actually help you to become a good programmer, and it will actually help you to become a first learner. Like if you invest your whole time to understand this thing, definitely it will create some problem. But if you follow along with the documentation, it will help you to do things fast. Okay, and or the faster way. So it is done. So now if I run this thing, it will create a bucket. Okay, and what I'll do, just I can print the response here. Okay, let's do it. Clear is there. Okay, no, this is maybe tutorial 1.py, maybe. Yes, let's run this thing. What is saying tutorial 1.py is not available? Okay, strange. Maybe something went wrong. Maybe copy paste the whole thing, delete. Okay, maybe I can. Again it is saying resource app can't fill tutorials, no such file or directory. Okay, so I think I deleted some files, because of that it is creating some error. Just don't worry about that, guys. I will just open my Visual Studio ID from here and I can write this thing. So it is some problem with the ID. So this is my folder. Let me open this thing. Okay, it's here actually. I'm not sure why this is saying it is not there. So maybe Python 3 tutorial 1.py. Why this is saying can't open file tutorial, no such file or directory? This is actually strange. What I'll do, I will just I'm not sure what is happening over here. Okay, somehow it is created inside the metadata, so I can delete this thing from here as well. Okay, so everything gone. So now here actually I can create something here. I created inside the metadata somehow some error, tutorial 1.py, and let me write this thing, run this thing. Hopefully this time this should work. See, this is saying request ID. I got this, complete this thing, and I got this thing as well. Okay, so this is public, and why I am saying this is public, so I'll create another thing and I'll show you guys why I'm saying this public. So I got the response, and if you just go here and just refresh this thing, see I got something, and this is named as public. So I'll create one more thing and we'll see. Okay, so and this thing is like this, total technology s3 dot this thing. So what I'll just do, I'll create one more thing, and now I will make this thing private, and I'll give you example, guys, how to actually, what is the difference between these two. So let's try to run this thing. Okay, so see, one more created, and if I click on this thing and I'll put refresh, so if you see, this is object can't be public. Public means I will show you or explain what is the difference between this public and objects can be public. This is public means this this bucket and the object inside this bucket will be completely public. So I'll explain what I mean by that. So what I'll do, I'll just select this bucket, okay, and I will try to upload one what do you say, like image, maybe some photo, yes, one of the thumbnail, and we'll create on next. Okay, and we'll just create upload, just upload. Okay, this is done. So if I click on this link, I will click now. So the object is not right now, while uploading this object, you can make this thing public as well, but I didn't do that. So what I'll do is I'll just click on this thing link. Okay, so it is saying access denied. On object level it is showing access denied. So what I'll do, I'll just try to access the bucket, because bucket is public. So if I just click on this thing, see, it is showing me the keys, the file name, and something is there. It means in my bucket I have only one file with this thing name. So just because this total technology bucket is public, so I can publicly available this thing using this URL only. And next thing what I'll do, I will just now try to let me go here, and I'll try to do the same thing with this thing. Okay, I'll try to upload one more file. Let me anything, maybe yes, right, and just I simply upload this thing. Okay, same thing, access denied I will get because this object is not public. Okay, but here last time for total technology, that's because the bucket was public, I got to know that what is inside. So now what I'll do, I'll just try to access the bucket using this publicly available URL. Okay, so let's see what is happening. See, for bucket itself I'm also getting the same error, but or access denied. But if I do the same thing with the public bucket, I got the data. But here actually if I do the same thing with the private bucket, let's see, just keep one here. See, I'm getting access denied here, and I'm getting some like the information of the bucket from here. So that is the difference between bucket is publicly created or bucket is publicly privately, or sorry, the access or from here the ACL is private and ACS is public. So ACS is public means you can access the bucket using the publicly public URL, or private means you cannot access the bucket using the public URL. So you need to have some sort of API permission via some sort of like user ID password, or from the identity access management you can create some sort of like what do you say, like access ID and secret key. So I believe this is clear now, guys. So what I'll do, I'll just try to copy paste this code. Okay, and don't forget to read the documentation. The more you read the documentation, the more you will get to know what is actually happening behind the scene. Okay, so just give me some time, let me make it a bit bigger. Why these things are coming with this, I'm not sure. None. Yes, fine, this is fine. Okay, so this is the code, but don't worry guys, I will anyways, like you all know, right, you guys are following me for last 1 year, so I'll definitely get this thing uploaded in GitHub. So first thing first, I think I should save this thing. The slides are important. Okay, let's close this thing. Okay, so that's it guys, we'll see you in the next tutorial. So in the next tutorial I'll try to like search in one bucket, and maybe we'll try to upload something in the bucket. So in this tutorial I uploaded something in the bucket manually. In the next tutorial I'll show you guys how to search how many buckets are there, what are the names of the bucket, and also how to upload something from the bucket. And in the next subsequent tutorial we'll do the remaining things, like delete something from the bucket or delete the whole bucket. So those are the things we'll do. Okay, so probably it will be fun and exciting tutorial guys. Just follow along with me and try to provide some sort of feedback, and if you have something in your mind that we should covered in this tutorial, please feel free to let us know. So that's it guys, we'll see you in the next tutorial. Till then, take care, goodbye, have a nice day, and keep practicing, keep supporting us. Okay, so once again, bye, we'll see you in the next